Hi guys, I'm Kat Dunn and this is
Cy Gorman.
And we are at Creativity Innovation Global 2017 here in the Sofitel in Melbourne. Now, if you have been following our Facebook page and the hashtag CI Global, you would have seen some live videos being shared, notably one recently with Neil Harbison.
Amazing
who
guy.
has just done an incredible keynote for the audience today on his journey with implanting an antenna in his skull to enhance his sensory perception. Now, Cy, I know you're doing some work in this space as well. I'd love to know what you pitched to the audience about, because he was someone who did a 60-second
Thank
pitch.
you. Yeah, I was one of 10 Australians that won a scholarship for this conference, and my 1-minute pitch today was on my new startup called Nurobodi. So Nurobodi is a post-human environment design practice, and we use interpolated light and sound for wellness and therapy. And actually, Neil and I go back a few years. He actually put me onto his system of tuning, which is called sonochromaticism, and sonochromaticism integrates pitch and color. So yeah, it was fantastic to present here. Really excited about the conference and the space of just kind of basically using light and sound to make life more awesome.
So can you tell us a bit about your theories or philosophies on the delineation between humans and technology? We've been talking about the singularity here. We've had a lot of keynotes from Singularity University, ambassadors. What are your thoughts on that side?
Well, I've always kind of had the view that the human body is a really, really advanced form of technology. So this idea of merging with the technology we make or design is not such a crazy idea to me. In some ways, actually, the fact that we're here I see as a byproduct of the planet engineering us. So in a way, if you like, we are the technology of the planet, and so the technology we create is therefore an extension also of that planet. That's essentially my view on the situation. That, of course, raises many questions to weed back.
Well, the question I would have to ask you is, not everybody shares that view of humans being the technology of this planet. Indeed, many want to differentiate human beings from technology, and it gives rise to ethical issues, because Neil said that the doctors initially wouldn't perform the surgery on him to embed the antenna in his skull because they said that it was unethical. But he, of course, says that it is ethical. Well, what do you think?
Well, I think that largely that is an individual's choice to make, but if these ideas take hold and more people want to do them, then there is a discussion that needs to be had, and that's what we're here at this conference to do, because yeah, people are resistant to change even at the best of times, but the world is changing rapidly, and we just need to kind of keep up a bit and be a bit more proactive about having those discussions.
Do you think it is ethical to amend your body to, for example, Neil can now sense colours as sound, but not just the usual spectrum of colours that humans can perceive with their eyes, but also ultraviolet colours, for example? Is it ethical to augment our senses beyond their natural capabilities?
Well, I mean, a question that I asked Neil yesterday was around, like, gender, for example. Is it ethical to impose a gender on another person? Just because a person is born of a male sex, is it ethical to impose on that person that they have to have the gender of a male? In the same way, if Neil has chosen to augment his own body, or I mean, he might put it differently, but have an antenna attached to him, is it an unethical choice of him to act on his own body in that way? So he's working experientially within the realm of his own body. Who is it for me to judge him to say that's an unethical action? If other people started saying, if I said you have to have an antenna and I'm going to operate on you and that has to happen, I think that's unethical. But if you chose to do that yourself, is it up to me to say that that's ethical or unethical? I don't know, actually.
Well, why do you think that people have such a instinct or an urge to impose these definitions upon each other? Because it seems to really offend the sensitivities of a great number of people that Neil could even elect to do this to himself. Have you thought about this in the work that you're doing?
You know, one of the issues there is around particularly social or cultural conditioning, and some of these kind of conditioned ways of thinking are hundreds, of years old, at least. But the reason I'm moving into the use of color and pitch is because they're kind of like, if you think about us as an audio-visual generation, audio-visual culture, like right now, you are hearing me and you are seeing me, and this is on the internet, and like the main ways you perceive me is through sight and sound. Now, the meta properties of both of these are that there's pixels on this screen, and each one of them has a color value. And the pitch that I'm speaking now, this is a high pitch, this is a low pitch. So essentially, my voice, even though I'm using words to form concepts that you understand, the basis of those concepts is in pitch values, as is the pixels on your screen color values. So I'm not at the moment so interested in concepts, symbols, ideas that affect the way, people work with ideas. I'm interested in the way that vibration of color and sound affect us, our feelings, despite what we think, what our body tells us, what our primal awareness tells us. And I think for me, in my studies and my business and the way I focus on those concepts in my life, they actually naturally align me more to want to be more in tune with nature and the planet. So I think it's funny that using tech or getting involved with tech that reorients you towards wanting to be more in line with the planet and what's going on there, and thinking about the environment as being a really kind of like advanced topic, like that perhaps this planet is technology itself or an entity that we just haven't learned how to communicate with properly. I don't know, like it's just a discussion to be had.
Indeed, the questions will continue to be asked, but thank you so much, Cy, for
thanks
having
for
a jam
me.
with us. Oh, buddy, there it is. And we'll see you guys at the next live.